Welcome back. We are having another Monday here, and it's not a great Monday for the overall markets. But before we get going here, just want to let you know that I am not Higgins. I'm not TC. I'm not Magnum PI, although you can call me Magnum PI, although my PI stands for passive income, baby. I'm Magnum PI, Magnum Passive Income. Um, But anyway, used to love my brother Nitro. Shout out to Nitro. Hashtag shout out to Nitro. My brother Nitro and I used to love Magnum PI and Higgy Baby and Magnum anyway plus Tom Selleck is from Detroit, so I always wore that Detroit Tigers hat. But anyway, that being said, I'm none of those characters. And I'm also not your financial advisor. I'm not your friend. I'm just a data point, sharing with you my journey, the decisions that I'm making, and kind of giving you a peek into how the sausage is made. And anyway, just listen, take heart. We are getting ready to head into a major, I think, financial crisis, right? I'm not a macro guy, a macaroni and cheese guy. I am a little bit, but I'm not one who does the analysis or is an expert, which is another reason I'm not your financial advisor. However, I have lived through the 2000, early 2000s tech bubble burst, lost my business, lost my house, lost everything. That was, I'm not going to share the bloody details with you there. So that was tough, and I feel like that was a kind of a microcosm or a beginning stage in terms of, what we experienced in 2007, 2008. Went through some loss of employment there for, extended period of time. And that was tough also, and so again, I've had to start over a few times in life, right? And I feel like we're getting ready to head into another major big one. I'm seeing all the same articles, employers are starting to lay off. Uber, banks are all starting to cut back on hiring, and so if you have not gotten your financial house in order and looked at, the status of where your job is and set yourself up for sustaining this thing. I think this one's going to be longer and more drawn out and more sustained. And unfortunately, that's just my opinion. And again, I've been kind of preparing myself for this since the 2007, 2008, knowing that we'd go through another bubble. And this one actually has gone, on longer, this bull run in the market than what I thought, what a lot of people thought. But there's been a lot of people who have been for the last couple of years saying, hey, we're getting ready to hit a major recession, maybe even depression. And I'll share a bad joke, but what's the difference between a recession and a depression? I'm sure you guys have heard this, but if you haven't, anyway, a recession is when your friend loses a job, and a depression is when you lose your job. So anyway, I think that there's some things coming, and I'm actually, since I've been watching since the health crisis, the global health crisis that's been going on, and I actually moved out of my 401k and moved heavily into crypto back in early 2021, and so. Actually, it's 2020. I take that back because I was following it back, what was going on over in China there back in 2019, that November, December. And I was like, okay, this is bad. And so anyway, that's when I've been in crypto about 2.5 years now. And so, and then I moved into passive income, and that's been my focus, really just kind of setting myself up. And I'm actually going to go back, into the workforce, but in a different capacity. I'm no longer doing project and program management. That is just the worst, thankless job that there ever could be. I do not enjoy it. Don't enjoy managing grown people. I'm good at it. That doesn't mean that I enjoy it and want to do it. And I'm actually moving into, hopefully, going into a final interview, moving into the energy utilities sector, doing something where I don't have many bosses, and I don't have any employees. And so then I'm going to use crypto to offset what I need to be making. So anyway, I want to encourage you all to consider what's coming, the headwinds that are coming here. So that being said, I just want to comment real quick. And in the title, I said, do you have a right to criticize, Forex Shark and the Animal Farm? And is there a loss of confidence in Forex Shark and the Animal Farm? So the first one I'll comment on, do you have a right to criticize? And before I answer that question, from my perspective, is that I hear a lot of these whales talking, right? Guys who are in the Dow, in Forex Shark's Dow, right? In the inside scoop, right? And they keep saying, hey man, don't freak out. Forex Shark has made me a lot of money. And that's all fine and good, right? But at the end of the day, I am not a whale. and neither are a lot of you. And I think you guys are all having the same questions that I'm having. Like, what the heck is going on, man? You know, I mean, no one forced you to put the date out there. No one forced you to put the time out there. You said that you wouldn't do that anymore. And so, yeah, you do have a right to criticize. And, you know, I hear Ray from Bartertown saying, you know, oh, you whining, you whining. Well, you know, Ray's in a different position than us. He's told us he's got over $2 million. A lot of us are looking to leave. You know, I'm looking to leave project and program management, which, you know, is still way better than working at Burger King or working in retail. And I've worked in retail before. Retail sucks, man. I get it. I get that you want to change your life. So this is your money. This is your hard-earned money, and you do have a right to criticize. Now, I think there's a way to do it, right? And I'm okay with you do it any way you want to, but I think there's an appropriate way to do it, right? I'm not critical on Forex Shark because he's bringing innovation. I think he's growing, and he's growing before our eyes, right? So I want to extend a little bit of grace here. But I think we have the right to criticize. And those whales that are telling you that you shouldn't whine or cry and Forex Shark has made them a lot of money, he's not made us a lot of money yet. Not made me a lot of money yet. I'm not able to, you know, live large like a lot of those guys are yet, you know. And so the other thing is that us minnows that are getting into this, we support those whales that are cashing in right now. So they need to be careful about how much they criticize. And the reason I'm bringing this up also is that Flare Networks has been delayed 1.5 years. And there's been a loss of confidence in that team, in that project. And those delays make people leave, and it doesn't give you that confidence. So I just answered the second question. Is there a lack of confidence in Forex Shark and the animal farm? For me, the answer is not yet, but my antennas are up, baby. And if he is not able to bring this thing across the finish line and at least get the piggy bank up and going this week, then I have some concerns. I want to promote this platform, this ecosystem, but he is making it very difficult with not being able to deliver on what he says he's going to do. I'm wondering if he understands what 100% done means. 100% means there's nothing left, you know, and done, meaning I can launch. So, you know, I'm not going to keep hammering on this, but yeah, there's not a loss of confidence yet with me, but I told you that I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I'm not taking any referral fees. I'm not taking any sponsorships. I'm not taking any tokens from anybody. So I'm going to say what I want to say, how I want to say it, when I want to say it. And I don't care what anybody says. If you don't like it, unsubscribe. Please. I'm not doing it for the YouTube growth. Hit a thumbs down on this video. I don't care. I really don't, but I'm going to keep it real with you guys. For those of you who want to hear some real advice and real, and it's not really a financial advice, but some real commentary about my thoughts on this, come here, because I'm not asking you for anything. I don't have a Discord where I'm charging you $39 a month for it. I don't have anything except this YouTube channel, and I'm going to keep telling you how it is and how I see things, right? It's not financial advice, but it's my you know, perspective on how I view things. So do you have a right to criticize? Yes, you do. And in fact, I encourage you to make YouTube channels to criticize me if you want to, that you don't agree. And guess what? I don't care, just like Shingles doesn't care. Do it. Do it. That's your freedom. That's your prerogative. Go ahead and do that. I encourage you to do it. I'm not asking you to like my videos. I think that if you're, you know, invested in a project and there's positive things going on and you want the project to grow, you should like those other YouTubers. And, you know, there's other people who are out there hustling and giving out free airdrops. I'm not doing that. I don't have bosses, don't want bosses. So I'm not asking you for anything. You have no skin in the game with me, and I have no skin in the game with you. So take this for what it's worth, right? I'm just telling you my perspective on where it's at. These delays are making it very hard for, you know, content creators to actively push projects. And I think there's real value. I think it has great potential. It's just not getting done, right? And again, to say, well, look at what he's done in the past and all the projects he's done in the past. That's like saying that you have a wife of 25 years who's been faithful to you, and then all of a sudden she's been screwing around with you for the last 2 years. And then she's like, but I've been faithful the other, you know, 2 years. It's like, yeah. It doesn't matter. It's all about what have you done for me lately, right? And so what has he done for us lately? He's held our money for 2 months. I'm stating facts. You can get mad at me. You can say I'm fudding the project. I am not. I'm strongly encouraging him to get his act together with his team, you know, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know why there's, you know, data parsing that needs to be done or should have been done, and why there's a dev that's not available to do that did it originally, when you have 2 months, had 2 months to do it, right? I thought the team was shored up. So I have questions. I'm going to keep asking them. I'm not fudding the project because still have money sitting on the sideline, hoping that this thing gets launched. So I'm just telling you how it is. I'm going to keep it there. Going to move on. Taking up 10 minutes on this already, but again, you can, hey, listen, if you want to hear the real deal, in terms of honest perspective, hey, talk to me, listen to my videos, because I'm going to give that to you, every time I put one out. So I'm going to tell you something else too here, in terms of the miners, right? They are going down, and the market is, listen, we're at the start. I think we're just in the beginning of the economic crisis. Back in 2007, 2008, I was getting my SEC FINRA Series 6, 63, 26, and 51 to, sell mutual funds and things like that, and to manage, financial representatives, right? Registered reps. And so I watched as I was getting, my licensing there and getting involved in, financial services from that perspective. And again, I am not a registered financial representative, or, you're a financial advisor. My license is expired. Go find somebody else who can tell you how to spend or invest your money. I'm just showing you what I'm doing, right? I watched these markets and watched these huge, massive swings like we've been seeing. And this is just the start, I believe, right? The people still are kind of holding on to hopium, buying the dips in the market, and this has been long overdue. So that being said, it filters down and rolls down. Then the bonds are the biggest asset class that are out there. Then it goes equity, stock market, right? And then it rolls down. We have the crypto, and there's real estate in there obviously as well. But I'm just talking about what we're kind of focusing on here. Then there's crypto, and then underneath crypto, there's DeFi. And so all of those things are taking hits. And I cover this in another video, so I'm not going to go over that, again with you guys. But that being said, you got to get your financial house in order. And I think that these miners, I've not given up on them yet, but I'm not putting any new fresh capital in. I'm just going to keep riding them out. Some of them I'm not, even really kind of trying to rehydrate with those, right? Grinch bucks, I'll cover that in a second. But I just think that the projects have lost their steam. I think miners have maybe lost their steam. So if I end up getting a little bit out of this in terms of covering gas fees, make a couple of bucks, make my money back, I'll be okay with that. So that's my approach. Not encouraging you guys to get into those. And that's why I remove my referral links. I'm not even asking you guys for that. So let's go over this real quick. I'm going to show you real quick where we ended up, because on Saturday nights after sundown, after I finish my Sabbath, I go ahead and claim. And this Saturday, I basically claimed about 426 bucks worth of BUSD and BNB, which, converted over to BUSD, gave me about 426 bucks, right? I did put 107 bucks into the BUSD miner, which really this would should have been a little bit more, but again, I took half of it, put it back in. Because I wanted to see something. I wanted to see if I'd get a compound adding new. I couldn't remember if I'd add new capital, so I did put another 107 bucks in there, right? But I ended up actually claiming about 214 bucks. So actually about 526 is really what the total is there. But again, total for this week, net these last 2 weeks, right, in terms of my personal payroll, is about 633 bucks. I didn't cash it out, but it's just kind of sitting there reinvested, a lot of it. So but anyway, I'm not going to even, because the rates are going down for all these miners, because the contracts are going down, I'm not going to keep track of this for the time being. So in terms of the forecasting, the pro forma here, but I will show you just kind of how I track the BUSD and go from there. So my BUSD, I'll go ahead and I'm up, right? It's up at 8% bonus. So I'm going to go ahead and hydrate that. And so I do track each one of my hydrations and claims, right? And so at the time of yield, it was about this. I'm not going to keep boring you guys. I'm only going to do one. I'm going to do the rest offline, right? So, actually this is a little bit less. So I'm going to copy this over and update that. And so you can see that these miners here, and it is 9:36 a.m. The contracts are going down, right? It is what it is, right? This has been going down, I've been tracking for a while, but it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. For the last 5 days, it's been going down, and I think it's due to overall miner, because I think the mechanics of this miner are much better than the other ones that are out there, which again we've kind of covered as well too. So looks like I'm getting 71 crops here and some change. I'll go ahead and enter that into my spreadsheet here. And then we'll go ahead and compound, and then I'll do the rest of them here. So hire more miners. Yes, I do not want to take an 80% pay cut. And so, again, at the end of the day, it's passive income. I think I will make my money back on this. after all is said and done. But again, I'm just kind of exposing you guys where we are here, right? So, you know, I'm not going to do the rest. I'm just going to show you where we are with the other ones, and then I'm going to compound because I don't want to make you watch me update my spreadsheets. Okay, so now the estimated, see, this is going down, and because the contract is going down, we can go back over here and see what the net, you know, difference is here as well, right? So before, these were kind of creeping up here, 146 when I started tracking them. 144, 152, you know, you can see that they've gone up and now they're going down. And it has to do with the contract going down. So how many farmers did we get after that compound? We are at 29,000 farmers. And again, I'm okay with compounding like this and even baked beans right now, because I think that after, you know, this bear market or this downturn, you know, takes place, I think that we're going to be in a better position to take advantage of the swing back up if these miners last, right? And I think baked beans has enough in its contract to last a little bit. Okay, and then what I have here, all right. So 39 is my net deposits after claim, right? So go ahead and pop that in, and so you kind of get the idea in terms of where I'm going with things, right? So you know, again, I netted, you know, the difference between where I was before I compounded with the projected daily rate of return. It goes back up obviously when you compound, but anyway, it's still generating some revenue. I will claim on Friday, but I'll just go ahead and show you, you know, where we are with my garden, my drip garden. I compounded this morning. I don't like sitting there waiting just to create a video, but I have over 25,000 plants, which is on the milestone there, right? And so again, I'm going to spend a little bit of time, you know, here talking to you guys about this, because I'm in the garden. I'm generating about 3 drip a day based on 9 LP that I generate daily, right? And it takes about 3 LP, about 3. Let me see, what is it? 3. I'll give you a second. I can tell you what it is. Okay, here we go. 3 drip, 1 LP ratio here gets you a third of a drip, a little bit better than a third of a drip, right? And so 3 LP give me 1 drip, and I'm generating, as you can see up here, 9 LP a day, right? And so this is where the magic happens, right up here, this LP. So I'm generating basically more than I am in my drip faucet. I'm generating 3 LP. And the fun thing about it is, again, if you look over here at the calculator, and this is why I love this platform in this form, I still believe in drip faucet and the drip garden even, right? He's just got to get that animal farm up and running. And I think it'll be a great ecosystem. I'm ready and willing to invest in it, but he's got to take care of his end, right? So anyway, you can see here, and I've gone over this, I won't kill you on this, but you see how quickly this stuff is, you know, gone up. And you might say, man, you're a whale. Listen, go back and look at my earlier videos. I started out with 1,000, 2,000 plants. I've documented it. I'm not a whale. I'm not, you know, living off of this stuff yet either, but I am being consistent with my compounding. You know, in a couple of weeks here, I'm going to be at almost 45,000. I'll be at 50, you know, before the end of the month. I'll double before the end of the month. And we're at May 9th here. So you do what you got to do, right? You can buy that new car, you can do whatever that new thing is that you want to do, or you can invest, or you can compound and tighten the purse strings, right? And by the way, I'll just mention this too in terms of passive incomes. I'm involved. I have a Zum wallet. I've been heavily invested in XRP, and I'm able to stake, you know, a lot of the projects that I've invested in on my Zum wallet here. And now Stakes is it's stayks.com, and it's been generating for me. I appreciate that because I'm still a big fan of XRP long term. Although, you know, this is getting tanked. It's tanking just like everything else. And then there's that SEC lawsuit. All right, here's my 1 billion baked beans. I crossed over the weekend. I don't wait for the videos to compound because, hey, I want to earn, not just to show you guys, right? So anyway, 1 billion. I'm in the Billy Club, and again, who knows how long this will last? It's steadily going down, but again, it may be, you know, you know, an overall market thing as well. Plus, I saw those whales like Ray from Bartertown, Brian and Thomas G, and then also Stunner. Those guys have all just been eaten, right? And Ray said, "Hey, you guys aren't compounding. I'm not recompounding either, right?" So those whales are taken out, right? But they're also at a point where even if they get those lower interest rate, they've invested so much, they're still getting a good chunk that they're taking out. I, however, am going to keep the 6-to-1 just so I can get the max possible return that I can get, right? So anyway, I'm not going to compound here. The video's getting long again. We're at 20 minutes. I know I can't seem to keep these short enough, but I just feel like there's a lot to see here. I'll just show you again where we are. Here's my diamond team, what's been accumulating. I'll go after the video and do that. I'm not going to make you guys watch this. I'm just going to let this one roll until Saturday, and then I'm going to claim. I'm not recompounding here because apparently there's no penalty for, not doing the 6-to-1 ratio, and everybody's pulling out. The contract's not that big either. So I'm going to take my profits there and encourage you guys to do what you think is best for you. I am going to keep recompounding in my diamond team too, even though it pays out 1.5% plus the 5% bonus. They're the makers of Piston token, which is still doing great, by the way. I was a little bit skeptical in the beginning because of their bumps in the road they have, but anyway, you're up to date in terms of how the sausage is made and where I'm at with things. What I did this week, again, and how I do things and how I track things. I'm not sharing this because I'm not updating it. I don't want a boss. I don't have any bosses. I don't work for you. I don't have any bosses. So you're not my employee. So anyway, you see how it is and where things are. That's the gist of it. Listen, still, even in economic downturns and when the market's looking down, there are still people in worse positions than we are. So be kind to people. Be generous to people. If you're smart and you're able to make it through these major dips and major economic downturns, this is where your wealth is made. So still be generous during those times. Get into the habit of being generous when you don't have anything. It'll come back and pay itself forward to you in the future. I strongly believe that. And that's going to do it. Thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk to you on Friday with the ecosystem of Drip Network and Piston token, and hopefully the animal farm here too. I'm not holding my breath, but I haven't lost confidence yet. But man, I tell you what, I'm getting close to that line. So anyway, keeping it real. Talk to you guys later.